Hello everybody and welcome back to Dr. Ghost Games. If you're all new to the channel, welcome. I am Dr. Ghost and I make content for the game World of Warships Legends. It's nice to meet you all, and if you are stopping by for the first, second, third, fourth plus times, welcome and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the HMS Bellerophon. If I said that right, cool. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But upgrades in Loadout, we have Aiming Systems Mod 1 and Propulsion Mod 2. Now, do keep in mind we don't have the last two upgrades on it because I don't feel like spending 5 million credits on a Tier 3 battleship. We have HE and AP, we have damage control, and we have our 3 repair parties and 3 enhanced secondary consumables. We have the early adopter flag as always, along with the Type 9 camo that the ship comes with. For the stats, we have 38,100 hit points. We don't have the best armor in the world, keep that in mind. And we have meh torpedo protection. We've got 305mm guns. They're not the best in the world, but they're pretty decent at killing cruisers. It's got okay reload, it's got decent range, and yeah, it's only a Tier 3 battleship, guys, so don't expect too much from a Tier 3 battleship. Defense, it's horrible. I'm just going to leave it at that. Maneuverability, it's decent actually. It's got pretty good speed, and you can actually set this up for a speed build, so keep that in mind. Concealment, it's actually pretty decent, but it is a Tier 3, so I don't know the exact average concealment for all the battleships at Tier 3, but I'm pretty sure it's good, so yeah. For the armor, as you guys can see, 19mm in the front and the back. And the belt armor is pretty good as well, keep that in mind. And the citadel is pretty massive, and those elevators going down in the citadel can be hit for citadels as well. Keep that in mind. This does have a pretty big citadel. Now, the citadel itself, I'm talking about the big part right there. As you guys can see, it looks like a big yellow brick. Okay, that can get pounded for huge amounts of damage. Okay, it's agile and it has secondary reach. We have Bruce Fraser and Emile Gaprot as inspirations here for the extra speed for our battleship. We have flammable cannoneer, crisscross marksmanship, reaching out XXL, and will rebuild. He is your legendary 3 rank 16 captain. I'll see you all over in the gameplay. Enjoy the rest of the video. Here we are. We're going to be an archipelago and Tier 3 battles. It's going to be a carrier match, I believe, if I'm not incorrect. It is indeed a carrier match. We're going to be in the HMS Bellerophon with another division mate. His name is Blazing Ducky. He is in my clan, and yeah, he also has the Bellerophon because we have been playing the new Halloween event. Now, the Halloween event has been very frustrating. I've been getting a lot of help, and there's been a lot of ideas floating around on how to complete this Halloween event in order to get 5 stars. If you guys don't know, you have to get all 5 stars in one battle in order to receive the HMS Bellerophon for free. Now, if you don't want to have to do that, and if you're really struggling, you can. I don't recommend it. It's not that good of a ship. Don't get too angry if you're missing out. I still think the Orion is better than this ship, but if you guys really want it, it is pretty cheap. It's only a Tier 3. It is $15 around there. $10 to $15. Keep that in mind. So, yeah, it is in the store. So, keep that in mind. But I would not recommend doing that. It's not a worth Tier 3. Just go for the Orion. It's better. And, yeah, I will tell you why it's better in this video. Number one, it has, of course, the 14-inch guns. I call them 14s. They're actually, in all technicality, 13.5-inch guns. But of course, I rounded up to fit 14-inch guns. They're still, even if they're not, 14-inch guns, or technically not, they still are the biggest guns at the tier. So keep that in mind. Now, if you guys look, and if you guys notice, most of the people on the enemy team are probably noobs. There are occasional players who are pretty good. They come down to Tier 3, and you're going to be seeing a lot of people coming down in these lower tiers because a lot of people are going to have the HMS Bellerophon. Now, if you guys are wondering, if you guys don't know what HMS means, in history, HMS, going back, dating all the way back to the Royal Navy days, if you guys don't know, this is a British battleship. HMS stands for His Majesty's Ship, or Her Majesty's Ship. It basically means that it's the property of the King or Queen of England. So keep that in mind. That's what it means, His Majesty's Ship. At the time when this ship was in service, His Majesty's Ship is what the meaning would have been, because it was a male king. It was King George V that was in charge of Great Britain during that time. So therefore, it is His Majesty's Ship. There we go. A little bit of history lesson there for you guys. But yeah, right off the bat, we do fire a salvo off for 8,000 damage. Not bad. Now, I will tell you this. These guns are pretty bad. Now, they are 305mm guns. They are still pretty large, but they have trouble penning battleships. You want to be shooting, if you guys can, you want to be shooting people that are mostly broadside to you. These guns do not have a lot of penetration capabilities on them. You want to take shots at a lot of broadside cruisers. Cruisers can actually get screwed over by this thing because they're a lot smaller, and I believe, don't count me on this, but I think they're short fuse AP. So the shells do a lot more damage, and they pen a lot more easier. Easier is not a word, but I'm just going with it. They pen a lot more easier than most other battleships. So keep that in mind. Now, I do like the gun angles. There's like one gun on each side, so you can still kind of fire two guns off your front. You can keep swapping turrets on each side. It's pretty fun. But yeah, it's not a bad ship. I will never say any ship is bad. I think all ships are good if played well, if played correctly. And this is definitely one of those ships. It is a very, very tanky battleship if played correctly and angled well. You want to be angling that belt there. And these British battleships are not really friendly for noobs or people that are just starting out the game. You want to definitely, you know, still learn. Now, we do get a Citadel on that cruiser. Going back to what I said, this thing can absolutely shred cruisers at this tier. But battleships is where it struggles. You got to be very weary what you're fighting, especially Kaisers and stuff. Those really heavily armored battleships are very hard to kill. So it takes a lot of firepower in order to take one down. But we are going to get torpedoed, unfortunately. We're going to take one torpedo, and of course it's going to cause a flooding, but there's nothing we can really do about that. RNG just said, hey, we don't like you, and they're going to give me a flood. It's alright. Now we see the enemy destroyer, and we have our secondary consumable, unfortunately, on reload, so we have to depend on our guns here, and they are pretty good guns. Now, this Starozovoy is going to get a torpedo set, unfortunately, on me, and he's going to hit me with a couple, and he is going to set a flood. Keep that in mind. There's nothing I could have done about it, and we get our close quarters expert. Going back to the very beginning of the video, there was in the overview stating this thing has better secondaries, and it does have decent secondaries. I even tried a secondary build, and it wasn't that good. I don't recommend it. Just go for the range and dispersion build. Set it up for all your guns. That's what I recommend to people. I, of course, go Andrew Cunningham, and you guys can go back to the start of the video and look at what I have on Andrew Cunningham and all the inspirations and everything like that. But that's about it. So right now we are in the cap. We are trying to flip this cap. We could actually die to flooding, but notice we do pop our heel there to litigate some of the flooding damage so we can actually stay alive. And that is eventually going to reward us here at the end of the match, and you guys will see why. But we are going to be able to put the flood out in 16 seconds, and we are going to be alive. And we're also going to be able to use our heels. Keep in mind, they are British heels. They are pretty big, but it's low tiers. They're not crazy big like the Nelson's heel, like the Monarch's heel, like the Vanguard's heel, etc. Right? Now, we are at 25,000 damage. We do have, I think, 2 kills, I think? Yeah. No, 1 kill, I believe. And we have a Citadel, and yeah, we've done some stuff. It is quite difficult, actually, to do well in the ship. I won't lie. I had to do, actually, 4 matches to get a good match in the ship. It is quite a tricky ship to play. But, like I've said, going back earlier, I've said, you know, if played well, you could still pull some crazy stuff off and even get some good games. Any ship can be good. But this thing especially will excel at killing cruisers, so keep that in mind. I even tested the HE on this as well. The HE is okay, but it just isn't that good. Most British battleships are good, but it's because I believe that the shells are pretty darn small, just the HE just doesn't do a lot of damage. I seem to shatter a lot with the HE. I don't know if that's maybe a bug, but I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying it might be, I don't know. But usually, what I'm familiar with, most British battleships with their HE shells absolutely smack. They do not usually. Speaking of smacking, we did get a couple Citadel on that Russian light cruiser, I believe. But yeah, the HE usually smacks on these British guns, and they usually have very good superior HE pen on most of these British battleships. But this one doesn't really feel like it does. But then again, I haven't experimented way too much with it, so you know. But from what I could see so far, it does not have very good HE. So yeah, now we do take a shot out at the carrier here, at the enemy carrier, and hoping to get some good damage with our armor-piercing shells. But unfortunately, nothing crazy seems to happen. Nothing we can do about that. Now, Blazing Ducky, I believe, does manage to take down an enemy ship there. Good job by him. And yeah, that's fantastic. So I think he actually does manage to take down the carrier, was it? I can't read this. I'm sorry, guys. If you guys aren't aware, I actually look at my a screen that's a lot smaller than what you guys may think. You guys probably have a bigger screen. I can barely even read what's going on. So it can be definitely tricky for me to see exactly what Ducky kills, for example. So yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, going back to the Bellingham, as I like to call it, because it's easier, but the Bellerophon. The Bellerophon's good, and I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's really good at killing cruisers. It's decent at killing destroyers if you load HE, even the AP, But it's really strong at killing cruisers, and it's fast. It's got really good maneuverability. It's not a bad battleship overall. But would I say it's better than other battleships at its tier? Probably not. I do like the Orion a lot more. It's got bigger guns. I think it has better armor, and yeah, it's just an overall better ship. But would I recommend you going out and buying this ship for nearly $20 when you could just go buy the campaign, or you can go buy even the Nassau that's cheaper? I would probably recommend buying the Nassau over this. But if you guys want to get it for free, if you really want to try, unfortunately I don't have any strategies for you for this game mode, but it's a very difficult game mode from what I could see. You just gotta get lucky and hope your teams are good, but you guys can get the ship for free. In the game mode, you have to get 5 stars in one battle, and each star, it says what you got to do in the battle. So keep that in mind. But me and Ducky only played one more match, and we managed to pull off a win and get all 5 stars randomly. We weren't even expecting it. We were about to get off. We just said, screw it, let's just go play a match, see what happens. And we did, and we managed to actually win. We had 3 DDs on our team. Shout out to them. They were fantastic. So yeah. But so far, I'm enjoying this ship. I don't mind it. It's a pretty unique ship. It's kind of fun to play, just to screw around in. And even sometimes, unfortunately, bully some low tiers. But yeah, it's not a bad ship at all. And I've actually died a few times in it. So yeah. Now we're going to fire off our guns here at this enemy battleship. And Ducky was trying to ram him. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. There's nothing he could have done about that. The Orion actually did manage to outspeed him there. We do get a Confederate medal as well right there. And yeah, that's about it. We are coming to the end of the match. That is the last guy alive, and we are waiting for a reload here to hopefully take down this enemy Orion, the better ship in my opinion. I do recommend you guys go pick that up. It is free. It's a Tech 3 ship. Just go unlock it. It's much better than this thing. I will agree. But that's the end of the video, and that's the end of the match as well. I hope we did all enjoy this one. It's been a fun one, and yeah. So we did about 57,000 damage, and we got an unsinkable. That's a pretty rare medal right there, and it's all because we flooded. We flooded a lot at the beginning of the match. I told you guys, remember to remember what happened earlier, how that flooding actually managed to be good for us. But anyway, I hope you all did enjoy. Punch the like button, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.